You ever feel like you're drowning in noise? Like everywhere you turn, someone's broadcasting their every move, every thought, every latte art attempt.
It's the blessing and the curse of our always connected world, right? We've got all these platforms to be seen, to be heard, but it's almost like it's made us crave that validation even more.
Right. It's exhausting, which is why this deep dive, what we're talking about today, is kind of refreshing. It's about work hard in silence. Shock them with your success. Just picture it. You pour your heart into something you really care about. You hone your skill, you get amazing, and then, bam, the results, they do the talking for you.
It really flips the script on how we usually think about success. Instead of constantly looking for outside approval, you're building this deep inner drive. You're not working for applause, you're driven by something deeper, something from within.
Okay, so let's break this working in silence thing down. Because honestly, with how noisy everything is, it feels almost impossible. What does it actually look like in real life?
It's about shifting that focus inward. Imagine you're an artist, right? You're sculpting, meticulously chipping away at this big old block of marble. You're not stopping every 2 minutes to snap a pic for Instagram, asking for likes. You're totally absorbed, lost in the work, driven by the vision you've got in your head.
Wow, I can see it. You're so focused on making that vision a reality that nothing else even matters.
Exactly. You're mastering your craft in the quiet moments. You don't need constant praise, you know? Your success isn't measured in likes or shares, but in the natural outcome of all that dedicated effort.
So it's not about being secretive, it's more like focusing your energy, letting the results speak for themselves, not some social media post.
Exactly. You're not asking for permission to be great, you just you're on the path. And that shift, it can be really freeing.
I bet. I think a lot of us were afraid of not being seen, of putting in work and nobody noticing. But what you're saying is there's a power in that focused creation.
Absolutely. There's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're building something real, something with substance. It doesn't matter if the world's watching every step. And when you finally reveal it, it's got this depth, this impact that you just can't fake.
Okay, you've convinced me. Working in silence, it's got its advantages.
Yeah.
But what about the other side of this, the shocking them with success part? Why is that so impactful?
Think of it like this. When success comes out of nowhere, it stops people in their tracks. It's like a magician doing something incredible. You're speechless because you never saw it coming. You're left wondering how'd they do that? And the answer is always years of dedication of practice behind the scenes.
That's so true. When someone achieves something incredible and you had no clue they were even working towards it, it makes you think, doesn't it, about what you could achieve?
It does. It reminds you that incredible things are happening all around, often in the quietest, most unexpected places. It makes you ask, what could I do if I had that kind of focus?
So it's not about bragging when you achieve something. It's about letting your actions speak louder. It's about that quiet confidence that comes from knowing the work you put in.
Yes, and it's about exceeding expectations. In a world full of self-promotion, there's something really captivating about someone who lets their actions do the talking. It cuts through all the noise and earns a different kind of respect.
Cuts through the noise. I like that. It's like a breath of fresh air.
It is. I think that's why people connect with this idea so much. It speaks to that desire for something real, for substance over flash, you know?
Yeah.
A world where true skill still matters.
It's like you're quietly becoming so good at what you do that your success is undeniable. It's the quiet ones you got to watch out for.
Exactly. He's a perfect example. Now, let's jump from the basketball court to the world of books. Think about J.K. Rowling and the whole Harry Potter phenomenon.
Oh, good one. Everyone knows how huge Harry Potter became, but I'm curious about that work in silence phase.
Right. Picture this single mom, barely scraping by, just diligently typing away at this story about a boy wizard. Rejection after rejection from publishers. No book signings, no fancy talks, no massive online following cheering her on. Just her typewriter, and this unwavering belief in her story.
It's easy to forget that even the most successful people often start in obscurity, facing doubt, setbacks, the whole 9 yards. The determination to push through that, keep getting better even when no one's watching, that's incredible.
It really is. That's the thing about working in silence. It forces you to develop that resilience, find motivation from within, trust your gut. That's where real creative freedom comes from, I think.
These stories really highlight that it's not just about the end goal, it's about the journey. Falling in love with the process of creation, always learning and growing, even if it's not in the spotlight.
And when that dedication leads to amazing results, the impact is huge because it wasn't built on hype. It came from genuine passion and hard work. Now, how about we shift gears from inspiration to practicality?
Love it. Let's give our listeners some tools to apply this work hard in silence idea to their own lives. What's the first step?
First, embrace delayed gratification. We touched on it before, but it's worth repeating. We're so used to instant everything these days. Instant downloads, instant meals, instant expertise.
It's true. We expect everything now, now, now.
Right. But the truth is, anything truly worthwhile, anything that gives you lasting satisfaction, it takes time. Just like a garden doesn't bloom overnight, a masterpiece isn't painted in a day. Achieving meaningful success, same deal. Patience, persistence, and trusting the process.
So playing the long game, believing that the work you're doing now will pay off down the line.
Exactly. Which brings us to our next tip. Celebrate your wins, but privately. You don't need a cheering crowd to validate your progress.
I like that. Finding joy in your own growth, even if it's just you and your cat giving each other high fives.
Yes. Internal validation, it's way more sustainable, more fulfilling in the long run than relying on praise from others. And while we're on that topic of inner peace, let's talk about minimizing distractions. Whether it's the constant dinging of social media and negative self-talk, or just the everyday chaos, creating space for focused work is crucial.
That's the tough one, right? Our phones are like these little black holes of distraction.
They totally are. But even small changes help. Maybe it's setting specific times for checking social media, or making a dedicated workspace where you can unplug.
I'm all about noise-canceling headphones. Lifesaver when I really need to focus.
Whatever it takes to create that mental space to get in the zone. Speaking of focus, here's one that might seem counterintuitive. Track your progress even if you're not sharing it.
Interesting. Why bother if no one's watching?
Because when you're working towards a big goal and it feels miles away, it's easy to get discouraged. Tracking your progress, even the little wins, it lets you celebrate those victories, stay motivated.
Like giving yourself little pats on the back as you climb a mountain. You might not be at the top yet, but hey, you're making progress.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be fancy, a notebook, spreadsheet, a calendar with big check marks, whatever works. It's about having a system to see how far you've come, appreciate the effort, even when no one else is looking.
It's about staying accountable to yourself, to your vision, regardless of external validation.
You got it. Now, we've talked a lot about the good stuff, but it can feel like failing, even if you're still making progress.
It's easy to get caught in the comparison trap, especially online. Everyone's showing their highlight reel, the polished version of success. It's tough to remember everyone's journey is different.
It's true. It's about finding that balance, sharing your journey, but also protecting your creative space, respecting that quiet work that's happening behind the scenes.
Because at the end of the day, it's your journey. You decide what success looks like, how you measure progress, and who you share it with.
And you know what? Sometimes the best victories are the ones you celebrate quietly. Those moments of deep personal satisfaction. It's like an internal high five, I did that. It's about recognizing your own growth, your resilience, your commitment. That kind of self-awareness, finding joy in the process, it's incredibly powerful.
Becoming your own biggest fan.
Yes, that inner validation, that feeling of accomplishment, it's way more sustainable, more rewarding than needing outside approval. Let's be real, you can't please everyone, and chasing likes will leave you feeling empty.
Like they say, the only approval you need is your own.
Exactly. Once you truly believe that, when you don't need that external validation anymore, it unlocks this whole new level of creative freedom. You're not creating to impress, you're creating for the pure joy of it.
That's gotta be an amazing feeling, creating from that place of pure passion.
It really is, rediscovering that simple joy of creation, pouring your heart into something meaningful. Outcome aside.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to walk away with?
I'd say this. Your journey is yours alone. Don't let the pressure to share every single step take away from the joy of the process. Embrace the silence, put in the work, let your accomplishments speak for themselves.
Love it. Work hard in silence, shock them with your success. Simple, yet so powerful. And after diving deep into this today, I have a feeling our listeners are walking away with a renewed sense of purpose, a deeper understanding of what it means to create from a place of authenticity.
That's what I like to hear.
Me too. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. A huge thank you to you for sharing your insights. This was eye-opening.
Always a pleasure. I enjoy our conversations.
And to our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. Remember, you have the power to achieve amazing things, even in this noisy, demanding world. So go out there, embrace the silence, and let your success make all the noise. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.